So how do you get in touch with a journalist? Once you found the perfect journalist at the perfect publication, what do you do? Of course, before you start reaching out, you make sure that you have a reason to get in touch. You're not just calling up and asking whether this reporter wants to go for a coffee. That's just not really how things work anymore. So first, make sure that you have a reason to get in touch with them. Maybe it's news, maybe it's an interesting quote by a spokesperson that you're working for. It can be anything, but make sure that you actually thought about it. Secondly, use the right channels. Usually in 99% of the cases, that is email. Make sure that you shoot the reporter or the journalist a short email with the information, the question, whatever it is that you wanted to discuss. Don't pitch them over Twitter. Generally speaking, Twitter is not the place to be pitching people. You can of course follow journalists on Twitter and engage with them, and maybe they are talking about certain things that you're interested in on Twitter, and you can of course then reply with your vision and mission and stuff like that. But make sure it's relevant. Don't just go and harass them on their personal social platforms. Do not do that. Last but not least, do not call them. Generally speaking, journalists do not want to be called. Don't call them and say, did you get my press release? Yes, you sent an email. You didn't get it returned to sender, so they received your press release. There is no need to actually call them to verify. Of course, there are cases in which you will call the journalist. For example, if they ran a story and there's a mistake in it that needs to be fixed right away. Or if you already have an established relationship with this journalist and you know that they prefer to be called, then of course call them. Or if you have such confidential news and you really want to make sure that you discuss some things properly with the journalist, then call. But make sure that the thing that you're calling for is actually relevant to them, not just to you and the people within your company. At Pioneer Academy, we teach you how to properly get in touch with journalists, and we also offer you 1 month of free consultancy. And not 1 month, that would be great. 1 hour of free consultancy per month in which you can ask us anything. Maybe you want to reach out to a journalist and you're not quite sure how, or maybe you just did and it didn't go as planned and you wonder why. We're there to help you. So if you want to become one of the pioneers, make sure that you follow the link and get access. And we can't wait to have you on board.